Okay, so back inside now to finish up the second part of the video. Sorry I screwed it up again and we have two videos to look at. But anyway, in the lecture this week, we learned that the definition of emotional intelligence is the ability to manage ourselves and our relationships effectively. One of the questions posed is emotional intelligence a new fad or an uncovered fact for success? I would say it is uncovered fact for success. Why? I've seen it in action too many times for it not to be a factor in someone's success. When I showed you the government center in the other video, I wanted to relate this week's topics to our town supervisor, and I will do that in just a minute. So does it make a difference? You can read the article, Sick of Hearing About EQ, and hear what author Liz Ryan has to say, that basically if you act like a decent human being and being polite and a thinker are normal behavior, and that we should all get a taste of fear-based management at some point. Or you can read Steve Toback, who in his article, Don't Believe the Hype Around Emotional Intelligence, said emotional intelligence is just that, hype, that it is overrated and not as important as some people would lead you to believe. Well, I can use an example to go against those opinions and relate it to a couple of Daniel Goleman's areas of emotional intelligence. Self-management and social awareness. In small towns like the one I live in, the town supervisor is basically the go-to person for answers, whether it is the neighbor's dog barking that they want quieted down or trying to figure out why the assessment of a home is so high. Even though there are departments to handle each one of these problems, it seems to always funnel through the supervisor. Recently, there has been a group of outspoken constituents that have been up in arms about the town assessor and the assessments of their homes, to the point where some have gone into the town office and the office of the assessor screaming and hollering to get this resolved, like literally screaming and hollering. And I have personally seen our supervisor handle it with emotions under control and de-escalate the situation. It took a ton of self-control and adaptability to diffuse the situation. While the town board can have nothing to do with assessments, all we or he can do is show empathy to the people having an issue and try to explain the situation. It can't be taken as a personal attack, even though at times the people that are upset make it that way. Because there may be another issue that comes up in a week or so, a week or two later, that the person who is upset now has a legitimate concern or is upset and their needs need to be taken care of. Someone whose emotions are all over the board and let it get personal would be tough to flip that switch and separate the two issues to be able to help them out in this case. Again, using Goleman, the supervisor in a town must also show a lot of self-awareness. Part of self-awareness is self-confidence. You need to be emotionally tough to be in that job. It is impossible to please everyone. You can do so many good things for the town, and yet it seems that you only hear about the people that get upset and like to complain. There's a closed Facebook page dedicated to the politics in our little town. It's a place for people to vent, mostly. And without the self-confidence, all the negativity can get to someone. This also goes hand in hand with social skill. Not having good conflict management and communication skills is a political downfall. First, you would probably never get elected to begin with, and leading a government and fear-based management is a surefire way to not get re-elected. So, anyway, thank you, Professor, and everyone in class. It's been a good 8 weeks. Hopefully I'll see some of you in other classes.